Hey there, press players. It's Friday, and as you already know, this week is Insecurities week, and I'll be honest, I was just about as nervous as everybody else doing this week. And now look, I'm sure you probably noticed by now that you can see the mic in the shot or other things, and I honestly today didn't really care so much about all of that. What's more important is getting the message across today, I think. Because insecurities are really a very serious topic, and are not something that you should take lightly. Even though some things may be really small or insignificant, or they could be really big, glaring problems. Either way, it's all the same to the one person who's experiencing those said insecurities. We all have them. Even if you don't know what they are, I guarantee you have them. You're probably like me. Before doing this video, I had absolutely no idea what my insecurities were. It kind of just smacked me in the face. And unfortunately, the insecurity, once I realized it, was relationships. Now, I'm going to kind of tear this one off like a band-aid as fast as humanly possible by coming right out and saying, never had a girlfriend. And I know there's the huge stigma and drama where every guy has at least dated every girl, and every girl's at least dated every guy in drama. It happens. And usually the girls will have a crush on the guy that's just perfect, and then it turns out he's gay. But in the end, those relationships never work out in that way because everybody treats each other like family. You get to know each other so well. You spend weeks on end with people at a hotel. You wake up early, you go to bed late, and you're staying at rehearsal late. You just start to see people as they really are. And that will breed the closest friendships and the most bitter of rivals. And that's pretty much been my life. But never once have I stopped to focus on something other than schoolwork or drama or personal hobbies. Don't get me wrong, there have been plenty of girls that I've liked. Every year of my life has been the year where I've almost had a girlfriend. And I don't know if that's a lack of commitment on my part, or the situation just wasn't right for it. But it's happened so many times that I have to wonder, is that something to do with me? And so I consider that an insecurity, wondering whether or not someone would date me, whether or not someone would find me attractive. Especially, now when I think about this particular insecurity, it draws me back to my senior year, where there was this girl that I liked, and I was getting to know her better, and I liked her even more. And then, all of a sudden, without warning, it suddenly came up, she had a boyfriend. And that's something that I had never known the entire time I was getting to know her, the entire time I was developing feelings for her, just to find out she has a boyfriend. And I'm not going to go into too much detail about everything that happened there. The biggest thing that bothered me about the whole ordeal in my entire time senior year was I've never felt independent enough, I guess, if that makes any sense. All the kids in drama, or at least a good majority of them, are incredibly independent people. And I guess because of their home life, they have to be. And what I mean by that is they all had their own cars, they all had a job, and they were all usually in relationships. I felt like I couldn't measure up to everything that everybody else was, I guess. I don't know. There's nothing quite like the feeling of knowing that you have a job to do, that somebody needs you somewhere because you can accomplish something. I've never had a greater sense of fulfillment, I don't think, than when I was doing Footloose at the Sanger Theater. I was the only guy running lights. I mean, that was my job. I was being trained by the professional staff at the Sanger Theater, but when it all came down to it, I was the guy in charge of making sure everything looked good. One little mistake from me, and the whole thing could come crashing down because light didn't come on here or a spotlight didn't happen. And I was back there calling all the cues, and then after Sanger was over, everything kind of went back to normal. Spend every minute of my social life with friends at rehearsal, which is perfectly fine. But it still doesn't negate the feeling that I have about not being able to contribute enough in a relationship. You see, because I've always thought that what if circumstances were more open? What if this girl that I liked didn't have a boyfriend? And what if she'd been single for about a year, and maybe she was ready to be in a relationship, and I liked her, and I started making advances, started flirting with her, she flirts back, hey, let's go out on a date. What am I gonna do? I feel it's always appropriate that the gentleman provides transportation, that the guy can pay for the meal, but the last thing that I want is to say, hey, maybe we should grab a bite to eat sometime or do something fun like that. I don't have a car. I can't take you. Could you pick me up? I don't have any money to pay for the meal. Could you spot me some cash? So, and then as I'm saying this and I'm making this video, I think to myself, these are things that could have easily been solved. You know, borrow my brother's car, my parents' car, actually get up, get a job, you know? But that means a lot. That means, you know, everything has a price. Everything comes with sacrifices. And by not having a job through all of my high school years, I was able to accomplish a lot of personal projects and devote myself a lot more to theater. Because I can't tell you enough how many kids that were in relationships or kids that had jobs that were stressed out of their minds, dealing with rehearsals that ran late nights and then dealing with schoolwork. But I never had any of those issues. Never. In fact, I'd say I breezed through all of high school, except for my freshman year. That was complete and utter hell. But for the last 3 years of high school, it was easy. It was simple. And I don't think I'd change a thing if I had the chance. But those insecurities have still carried with me now. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Currently, I don't have a job, and I'm not in college. This past year out of high school has been sort of like me floating by, I guess. And I feel at times unproductive with my life. The college situation was not one by choice. I wanted to immediately hit college right out of high school, but unfortunately, due to my father's work situation, moving around, I didn't know where I was going to end up because I, again, don't have a nickel to my name, so I'm not going to room and board somewhere because I can't afford it on my own. And I didn't want to put my parents in that situation. I told myself if I was going to spend this much time at home, I'm going to do something with it. And that's when I got really big into YouTube. Now I'm making 2 videos a week. Probably feel a lot worse about this year if I hadn't have found this channel, Press Play Every Day, because of these people. Abby, I remember what you said in yesterday's video, and you talked about how we help to motivate you to be more social, to be more active, and that's all fantastic. I'd say the same, but I'd also say that you guys helped me to not feel so lonely. I'd say every year of my life, I always make a group of close-knit friends, and this year I was really worried because I didn't think that was gonna happen. And you guys have helped me with that, and you've made me feel so welcome. And I want to thank you for that. So, Insecurities week has not been easy for any of us. And the important thing is we're all here for each other. And we've all got each other's backs. There's no worry about that at all. we're here to support you guys too, the viewers, as you're supporting us every week, every day. If there are any guys, maybe even girls, who knows, anybody else out there who may have been experiencing or is experiencing similar things that I've talked about in this video, like Abby said, I'm here to talk. Because even though I don't have all the answers, I can listen. And sometimes that's more important than any bit of advice anybody can ever give you. Having someone there to listen and understand and to not feel alone. Because that's the biggest thing about insecurities, is they'll make you feel alone, and they'll make you feel depressed, and they'll make the problems worse than they actually are. So don't let that happen, guys. Now, as I always say on Stafeezy, remember, life is a play, and the play is the thing. I will see you guys next week. Guess what we're doing today? Do-it-yourself cosplay.